call to prayer and fasting because of the tense situation in Syria. The Holy Father, Pope Francis, has called the world to a universal day of prayer and fasting, and that will be on September 7th. It's Saturday, and it's actually the day that falls right before the birthday of the Blessed Virgin Mary, which the Church celebrates September 8th, exactly 9 months after December 8th, which is the Immaculate Conception. This short YouTube, I'd just like to speak about the many biblical figures that applied themselves to fasting, and they did it for many reasons. One of the reasons why fasting can be done is to beg God for a special grace and favor. What the Holy Father wants is he's begging us to pray for world peace, that we would have peace in our world, that this situation in Syria would not break out into a very extensive war in which there would be innocent lives that would be lost, as well as a lot of bloodshed. So who do we have in the Old Testament that apply themselves to fasting? Well, Queen Esther. Queen Esther was confronted with a very difficult problem for the Jewish people, which they were going to be eliminated, and she prayed and fasted, and God helped her and the whole Jewish people. Then Daniel. Daniel was known for his mystical life, his intelligence, his vision, his courage. He was thrown into the lion's den, and Daniel applied himself to fast, and God helped him. Then there was Moses. Maybe some of you forgot, but when Moses ascended Mount Sinai, he was on Mount Sinai for 40 days and 40 nights. And while there, Moses applied himself to prayer, but also to fasting. And then we have the great prophet Elijah, who was taken up into heaven in a fiery chariot. He also fasted. Then we move from the Old Testament to the New Testament, and of course, one of the most famous figures in the New Testament is the great St. John the Baptist. We celebrate both his birthday as well as his death. His birthday we celebrate in June. His death we celebrate in August. And John the Baptist fasted and taught his disciples to fast. And then we have St. Paul. More than once we read in the Acts of the Apostles that Paul was fasting. Before going out to a missionary journey, he would fast to pray the Holy Spirit would help him. And then one of the most famous biblical passages that refer to fasting would be right before Pentecost. Mary and the apostles, they prayed and they fasted for 9 days and 9 nights, and then the Holy Spirit descended upon them. And last but not least, Jesus, who is the way, the truth, and the life, we see him fasting. At the beginning of his public ministry, he's in the desert, and he's applying himself to prayer and to fast. So this September 7th is a day for all of us to pray and to fast so that God would give us peace.